I just want to know from you, are you one of those people who maybe wanted to start learning a course, you wanted to start a side hustle, you want to start a business, you want to start a YouTube channel, and you just haven't gotten down to doing it? You think, maybe next year, I think I'll do it next month. Okay, I'll get started when I am ready. And you keep putting it off and you keep putting it off. Maybe it's your taxes. You have to do your taxes and you keep putting it off. So if you are a procrastinator, friend, this video is for you, because I get it. I've been there. I used to be a procrastinator too. And then I started taking this course. Wow, that sounds like an advert. Not paid, not an advert, not even an affiliate link. Okay, just a normal link for you in the description. I want to share with you a course that literally took me from being, I would say, a chronic procrastinator to a person who doesn't just get it started, like get things started. Ooh, I want to sing. Let's get it started. Yeah, not just getting started, but actually completing the projects that I start. I am now a person who starts and completes, and I want you to be that person too. So sit down, get yourself a cup of tea, because it is chilly out here. I'm gonna vicariously feel the warmth as you drink your tea. A little background story for you. In case you didn't know it, I am currently on a journey of reading the Bible cover to cover. And an unexpected blessings from this journey that I've chosen to take is the fact that I would have what I'm calling a renaissance, a desire, a passion, an interest to learn, okay? And then I thought to myself, what if I learned something that feels completely out of my realm, completely out of what I think I'm capable of learning? So I started to learn to code. But what I noticed is that the minute I got into it, I was like, wait, I don't think I actually know how to learn, especially learning things that feel unfamiliar, right? There are things where I feel I have talent in. Anything with emotional intelligence, give it to me, I'll eat it up. I'm good. I can learn it very quickly and understand it and master it. But anything that requires that other side of my brain, I'm not quite there, right? So I was like, let's go, let's learn to code. And then the little speed bump was recognizing that I did not know how to learn things that I saw as difficult. And so I went on YouTube, where you are right now, and as I was browsing, there was somebody who was telling their story of how they broke into tech. He had experienced a similar roadblock that I was experiencing. I called it a speed bump. Now it just grew into a roadblock, where he recognized that he was having difficulty learning, concentrating, getting things done. And so he went on the normal search that we all go through when you don't know what to do. You go on the internet and you ask. Now we get to ask ChatGPT. But at the time, he asked Google how to learn. And then this course popped up and it is titled Learning How to Learn. So when I heard this part of the video, I was like, wait. This is why the Lord has led me here, is for this specific reason, because I do not know how to learn and I want to learn how to learn. So let's go. And so now I want to share with you my 5 takeaways from this course, because it is so useful. I use it on my study journey. I also use it in my work. And I also think that this is going to be useful for anyone who's a parent, because when you learn how to learn and then you put it into action, you can model that for your kids and also pass on what I feel were the really integral learning tools and techniques that can help your children too. First and foremost, it is the Pomodoro Technique. So if this is the first time that you are hearing about this technique, I just want to explain it according to how it's supposed to be used, and then I'm going to share with you how I use it, okay? So the Pomodoro Technique, what you do is you take your study session and you are able to, let's say you're having like a 2-hour study session. You're going to break that down into 25-minute increments. So you're going to set your timer for 25 minutes, focus, study, and then you're going to take a 5-minute break, another 25 minutes, focus, and then once that session is done, you're going to allow yourself to get a little bit of a bigger break, so like 15-30 minutes or so. The reason why I like this and why I feel like it really, like this is the one that helped me with regards to my procrastination, is because For the Pomodoro technique, for me, takes away the overwhelm of having to do a big task, right? It takes a big task and it breaks it down into small manageable goals through those 25-minute sessions, working on one section of a big idea. And then when you connect those separate sections together, you then have or master the full idea. So with the Pomodoro technique, how it overcomes this feeling of just being overwhelmed so much that you end up procrastinating and not doing the thing that you're supposed to do. It breaks it down and you're like, wait a minute, if I can do this 25 minutes, I can do another 25 minutes, and then I can do another 25 minutes, and before I know it, I'm doing the other 25 minutes, and then I reward myself with the 15 to 20 minutes like experience of not studying, right? Of just kind of relaxing, knowing that when I go back into my session, it's not this big chunk of experience, but it's like it's okay, I can handle 25 minutes, just like in exercising. You think to yourself, like, I can do 30 seconds of planks. Now you can tell that I haven't been exercising in a long time. I'm saying 30 seconds of planks. I mean 30 seconds of burpees, right? You think I can do 30 seconds and then I can rest. Now I can do another 30 seconds. Okay, I can take another 30-second rest. Now I can do another 30 seconds of another exercise, insert exercise move. All those who are exercising currently, yay, I'm cheering you on. I'll join you in a couple of months. I'm taking a rest right now. So that's the Pomodoro technique. And I feel like by infusing it and using it not just in your study journey, but also in your workload, right? I mentioned taxes before. Like, if you need to do your taxes, and if you do your own taxes, like, it can be a job. It can also be simple, but it can also be a job, right? It feels overwhelming, just the idea of doing your taxes. But when you break it down and think to yourself, well, first, let me gather all the paperwork that I need. That to me feels like a 25-minute Pomodoro experience, gathering the stuff. And then next, let me sit down and get the software that I'm going to utilize, right? And familiarize myself with the software that I'm going to utilize to do my taxes. Cool. Now you've got the information, you've got your software, and then another 25 minutes for you can be like, all right, let's get on and do it. And then you do one section, and then you save it, and then you can come back either the same day or another day to do the rest of your taxes. So it's just a manner of thinking that is so useful. So please use the Pomodoro technique, break down these big tasks into small manageable experiences, small manageable tasks for yourself, and it's so useful. The next technique that I find so useful, and that is called diffuse and focus mode. They actually call it focus and diffuse mode, but whether it's here or there, same thing. So just as the name suggests, focus mode, this is when you're like ding 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 ding, like you are zoned in, you are in it. That's your 25 minutes. You are focused, you have your timer, it says 25 minutes, you are getting down, you are in your work, you're focused, né? You're using your working memory, it's in. You are not being interrupted, your phone is on silent, you're in it. That's your focus mode. And then your diffuse mode, that is not just those 5 minutes in between the 25-minute sessions, right? That's more of your 15, 20-minute, 30-minute experience. That's when you walk away. This is also a learning technique. Isn't that exciting? Like knowing that when you walk away from the work, when you walk away from your study, you are utilizing a learning technique, like you are still studying, but in a way that's so fun. So the way that I like to do it is I like to do the dishes, take a shower, you can take your dog for a walk, you can spend time with family, within that time. You can just kind of do anything that is not related to the work or the studying that you're doing, but you are still studying. Your brain is at work in a creative manner. like networks are networking. There's just neuron connections. Things are happening nicely there in the brain that are helping you to better understand and better strengthen what you're learning. So I'm an artist, right? So in painting, this is how it works out. If I am busy, and I don't know why I'm making it seem over here, because I work on large scale abstract pieces, but you still have to get in, right? And you're working on the details. So when I'm like here, I'm focused, I'm painting, I'm in the groove, I'm in my vibe. But sometimes I feel stuck if I spend too much time in the focused experience. So it's important for me to walk away from the canvas and like go sit somewhere far so that I can see my full canvas in all its glory and rawness and coming togetherness of it. And if I just spend time looking at it, and then I like to go bake my bread, and then come back with my bread and just kind of look at the painting, it is so helpful because I see it from a different perspective, and I'm like, and then I know exactly what the painting needs. It's the walking away. It's part of the experience. So the focus work and then the walking away. Focus and diffuse mode. Very, very useful. And then now this leads us to my other favorite technique. I don't know why I consider this to be a favorite. Oh, you know why? It's because it changed my thinking. It just kind of rewired me in how I see struggle when studying, even struggle when working on a project, right? This one is called the struggle theory. It's a theory, and I love this theory. So here's the thing. Imagine a student who's really struggling with the work. They're working, like they're doing the best that they can. They are studying, they're showing up, they're learning, but they're struggling. They're struggling to grasp this concept. And then there's students right next to this person, and they're breezing through and they're doing just fine. Studies show that the one who is working at it, who is just going for it, and they're struggling, but they're trying to figure out, is more likely to master the subject. So embrace the struggle. And there's a way for you to struggle effectively. Struggle, walk away, come back, struggle again. I know it doesn't sound exciting, but I promise you, this is really, really exciting. And that's because the process, the cycle of struggling is telling you that your brain is working. It's working. It's doing the right thing. It's working. Something good is happening. Because at the end of that struggle, there is a light. There is a light at the end of that tunnel, okay? Things are gonna make sense for you. Do not give up. Just struggle, walk away, come back, struggle. Because sooner or later, you shall struggle no more. You're gonna get it. You're gonna understand it. And then you're gonna come back and you're gonna go, precious, you are so correct. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to that comment, okay? So embrace it. Embrace the struggle cycle. And now here is number 4. This number 4 is also one of my favorites. Maybe all these techniques are my favorites, hence why I'm sharing them with you. Okay, so this one is recall. And I like to think about it as teaching. So when you learn something, you go and you teach it to someone, or you can do a mock teaching. Teach ChatGPT, okay? Teach QN. Go and teach something or someone. And so in the process of teaching, you'll come to realize what you know, and you'll also see what you don't know, giving yourself an opportunity to then go back and research and strengthen and study again the things that you don't know, the things where you are filling the gaps of what you don't know. And then you go teach again. You see? I have found that by doing this process, I've also come to realize that there are things that you know that you don't know. You know, you're like, this, I know I don't know this part, né? But there are also things that you don't know that you don't even know. Does this make sense? Like, do you want to sit with it? It makes sense, né? And so this to me is what makes me even more inquisitive and what makes me even more excited about learning. and about being a lifelong student is the fact that there's things that I don't even know, that I don't even know them because I don't even know that I don't even know. Isn't that exciting? So now we can like explore the things that we know that we don't know. Hopefully in time, that journey will lead us to the things we don't even know that we don't even know. Okay, leading us to number 5. And so this is the last one that I'm going to share on this video. I know I said the others are my favorite, but this is my absolute favorite, okay? Sleep. Rest is productive, okay? And in sleep, this is also a learning technique. This is a studying technique. Hopefully this will help you to value your sleep that much more. This includes naps. This also includes nighttime sleep. While you sleep, your brain spends time reorganizing and strengthening everything that you are learning throughout the day. Okay, so now this goes into our behaviors, good and bad. So if you spend a lot of time just mindless scrolling on social media, just doing that kind of thing, and no judgment here. We've spoken about my issue of working on judgment. No judgment, okay? I used to do that until I went and decided to have a social media fast. It was only through a social media fast that I was able to break the cycle. That was a very Bruce Lee, ka-chang! To break this experience of mindless scrolling. I needed to do that because once I learned how important just how I spend my day is with regards to sleep, and how when I sleep, what I did during the day, this mindless scrolling was being strengthened, right? Like there were neural pathways being formed. My brain was growing into understanding this mindless scrolling as being an important part of who I am, and therefore learning further in mindless scrolling. I was like, I don't want to mindless scroll. I want my brain to be productive in things that are useful and helpful in my life. So this is important to remember also for the positive aspect. If you are learning something, so if you are working on a project and there's struggle there, if you're learning something and maybe there's a part of it that you don't quite understand, be at rest and understand that when you go to sleep, your mind still keeps working. It's going to make sense of that which didn't make sense. And you can wake up and potentially have your eureka moment, it excites me so much. I love to sleep. So it excites me so much to know that sleeping is productive. Rest is productive, okay? So friend, you can learn anything. You can learn anything. You can do it. You can absolutely do it. Not just learn anything. You can beat procrastination and start and complete the things that you want to start in your life, the things that you want to build in your life. It is possible for you. And I know that it is possible for me also because I learned how to learn, therefore demystifying the process for myself and getting rid of overwhelm. If you want to learn, make sure you do check out the course, okay? And let me know in the comments, what are you excited to learn? What are you learning right now? I want to know. Please, please, please do let me know. I'm curious. And I hope that you stay curious too about life in general and continue to be a lifelong learner. It's never too late to start. I'm 38. I know that's not old, but I'm just saying it's never too late to start something. So go ahead and start, but also be a person who starts and completes. I love you so much. All the very best in your learning journey. See you in the next video. Bye.